the stories, and that's I think the biggest. They love the stories, and even like I did yesterday. Again, if you don't come in and interject something in between songs, not that you're not ready for that next song, but if you do something as simple as My Way, I always tell it. I don't know, maybe somebody heard it before. A lot of people never heard it before. To come back, oh, thanks for sharing that story with me. And of course, Paul Anka, who wrote the lyrics, he had actually written songs for many singing artists. And Sinatra said to him one time, Paul, you're writing for so many. You never wrote anything for me. He said, okay, Frank, I'll get back to you. And he had been in France, and he heard the melody of My Way. And he came back to America. He put the lyrics together. He sent them to Sinatra. And Sinatra actually sang it to him over the telephone. And Paul Anka said, Frank, it's definitely going to be a hit. Go with it. The sad part, in France, the pop singer who sang, I think it was Comme Habitude, something like that, the name of the song in France. And the pop singer had a hit with it in France. It was very popular. What happened, he never got to know how popular it became in America because, unfortunately, he was electrocuted in his own bathtub.
Oh, my.
And, and they did a couple of investigations to see if there was foul play, and they said, no, it was just merely an accident. But as I tell that story, people will say, wow, I never heard that, So it's, you're introducing something that no one heard. When we go to the Sinatra Fear of the Sinatra guys, tribute singers, impersonators, other stories you'll hear, and many of them are about, did Sinatra have an ego? Sure he did. Many people have egos. Some people take it farther, but, sometimes the generosity that you hear about made up more for some of his other ways, and, getting to people that nobody would get to, and they I really was amazed that he was, he respected his elders in a sense, that if somebody like Fred Astaire, if he was at a show, one of his own shows, and he would invite Fred Astaire. He made sure Fred Astaire was taken care of. He didn't pay anything. Sinatra picked up the tab. If Sinatra did a show, and he wanted to bring it back some of those entertainers. After a while, the entertainers are passé, and nobody calls for them like an old actor. Mm-hmm. And I guess he recognized that. Maybe in his own way, he figured, hey, maybe that could be me. So I want to keep this person in the limelight. He would get one of the producers of the shows or whatever, hey, let's bring in so-and-so. And a lot of times, maybe there's not a lot of money from it. They were used to a certain pay scale. He would either get them to pay, and if they couldn't, he would pick up the tab and just put them in that show. And he recognized that, and I think that's one of his strongest attributes of recognizing the older people and giving respect to the people that were there before you. But interesting. I think to go back. You said you weren't brought up in that time. Like I was too young to be in that early '60s, the Vegas time of the Rat Pack. But you can imagine. It's been said that not strictly one of the Rat Pack, but got involved in the comedy was Joey Bishop, and he said, where can you go, be with a bunch of guys that you enjoy being with, get paid, and have all kinds of fun. And that's what I think of it, is like, wow, how these guys did what they did, enjoyed what they did, and worked late hours and a number of shows, movies by day, clubs at night, singing. And it was said, Sinatra, he just loved to sing so much. If he were at a private party, he had to get up and sing. He just didn't, he wanted to, but people say, hey, Frank, get up and sing. Oh, no, whatever. And just start singing. So amazing career for a guy that started on Jersey. And maybe that's another, a lot of the Jersey guys, recognize when they were from Jersey, and here's a guy that went somewhere from this level. Now, many of us, try to tell the people, I don't know where they think they're going. It's a whole different era. That's going to never be or ever be. But the one advantage that a lot of people had, or singers at that time, was the big bands. Mm-hmm. And we don't have them anymore to that extent. They're not even recognized. which is sad because musicians out there, some great musicians, have to look for work. And that to me bothers me the most. And at one time, Sinatra was asked, and I think it's probably true. It is true today. He said, I think it was Jerry Lewis. He had a short-lived talk show late at night. Sinatra was one of his first guests, and I remember listening to it. And he said, Frank, you've been around for a long time, and you've hit many generations, and you seem to get that next generation. What do you attribute that to? He said, well, mainly I have a lot of experience. He said, I've sang in a lot of Jersey and New York, if you want to call them dives. I've been known as the saloon singer. But those are the places I got my experience in, singing the real live audiences, the real interaction. And he said, and some of these other guys come out, they get one song, and they think they're so good, and their ego goes up with one song that's popular, and that's about all they do. They never do anything about that. So he said they really don't get a chance to learn their craft the way I did. So that big band experience and singing in those clubs meant it all. And the other thing to me that I always said, I talked to friends, he goes, why Sinatra? Why did you pick him as any other singer? I said, you know why? Because he was serious. I'm a serious kind of guy as an accountant. You look at the bottom line. I'm more conservative. And in that way, in the singing, he was that way, where other singers are quite different. And I said, you know what? I actually believe Sinatra was the Walt Disney of singers. And he said, what do you mean by that? I said, well, as I think of Walt Disney, I remember my mother, then my sister, my daughters. They're watching some of the same Disney characters, whether it was Snow White, whatever it was. And what did he do? Disney knew he can't do the same Snow White that started out in my mother's time. So he adapts the language to fit the time of that generation. And Sinatra did it in a song. He didn't come up and say, let me do this new song out of nowhere that nobody ever heard. He would do the same song, like I've Got You Under My Skin, which he did almost in every concert or television show. He always had to do that song. Mm-hmm. He had it rearranged. He did a different arrangement, a different style. If he was in England, he did a different type. So that kept it fresh. Because people want to hear what you sort of made popular as a singer. You can introduce, as he did in some shows and maybe some albums, a different song. But they want to hear those same songs. Maybe you get tired of singing them, but people want to hear the New Yorks, the My Ways, Summer Wind. They're the constant request. I couldn't walk away from an appearance without singing those songs. You have to. And he recognized that, and I think that's what made him much more popular than and feeling, maybe not in the beginning, but he learned it later, that your audience is the people. You got to give your. I think he said, "What would you want to be remembered?" Somebody had asked him when you pass away. He said, "I just want to be a regular guy that did the best. He offered the best he can offer his audience. I think that's all I owe, to give them the best performance I could." So it's really one of the guys I picked that I think amongst them all stood there as an iconic legend for sure. And my daughter, my one daughter, I never had singing lessons. My oldest, Rachel, I sent her for singing lessons, and she was in competition. She liked it for a while, then she sort of got out of it. But I could remember when in high school, when she had like a music class, and she grew up with me as kids. Parties were singing, and she had a kid. I had her singing in a video like New York, and she gets this one class. She comes back. She says, "Daddy, you won't believe it. We start this class. The professor says, well, before we start the class, let's recognize one of the most influential singers of her time, Frank Sinatra." So she couldn't go away from it even in school. So that's it. But anyway, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk to you.
Same here. Thank you, Al. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Okay. You take care, Trey.
Thank you. You too. Have a good day.
Okay. You too. Bye-bye.
And that was Mr. Al Russo.